Greetings, all you movie junkies and entertainment lovers, and welcome back to Movie Junkies Media Talk. I know it's been a while. We've kind of been doing other things. We did our camera review series. Javier's been doing his own videos, but we are back, and we are going to be doing it every single Sunday, which is very, very exciting. So every Sunday around this time, we will be doing this as a live, doing it as a live show like this, talking about, whatever the regular news of that week. And for those of you who are new here, what we normally do on Movie Jokes Beauty Talk is basically just talk about all the latest things in the world of movies, movie trailers, announcements, whatever. And of course, like always, I am joined by my co-host, Javier. How's it going today, Jav?
Hello there. It's great to be back on Movie Junkies Media Talk. Yeah, I'm very excited to get into the news of this week and just it's just good to be back. Just
Yeah.
talking about movie news.
Yeah, and I should also mention that this new incarnation of Movie Junkies Media Talk is not going to be the same. It's going to be a little bit more relaxed. It's going to be a little bit more of a hangout. It's going to be a little bit more fun, a little bit more energetic, and hopefully we will kind of just kind of have a little bit more fun with it, joking around a little bit more, not quite as tense. So hopefully it's just going to be a new, fresher, better version of the show, and we hope that you guys like that little trailer we did on Javier's channel. Link in the description,
Yes,
by the way, go be sure to go subscribe to him if you haven't.
absolute
And I should also
absolute
mention,
masterpiece.
yes, it was only done a couple days, and a lot of things went wrong, but it was a trailer nonetheless. There was a lot of effort put into it. And I also just want to say quickly that for those of you who are watching, feel free to jump into the comments down below at any time to share us your own thoughts on what it is we're talking about. I would do a must ask to try to keep it as much related to what the news that we're talking about as possible. But yeah. Anyway, so let us get into the news today. So we have a couple of different things that have come out over the course of the past little while. The first being a new trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife, which of course was supposed to come out in June of last year, and of course we've been waiting, and now it looks like finally it's going to be coming out in November, and they just recently released a new trailer for it. Hav, what did you make of this new trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife?
I really enjoyed it. It's really, I feel like it's really nice how, like, just with like the new cast of characters, the new like the family going into, like, is it Egon's uh
Yes.
house, and then meeting what was her name, showing
Hmm?
it, showing around the house, saying like you know who
Oh, Janine,
yeah,
who was
Janine.
the receptionist that would, we've got one. Remember that? That was a great moment.
Yeah.
Anne Potts, Annie Potts back as Janine, which was really great. And but we'll talk about that maybe a little bit in a second. So that was really cool. What did you? I mean, did you think this trailer was better than the first trailer, or?
Yeah, I thought it was better than the first trailer. Like, there's just like some really cool stuff, like how they were watching like the Ghostbusters commercial on like YouTube. I
Yeah,
thought that
that
was,
that was a nice touch. That was definitely a highlight.
yeah. And like I'm very excited for the film. I'm just very,
Mm-hmm.
like, I think it's gonna be like a really nice wild ride, personally. But what about you?
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, was there anything about the trailer that was like that was like a big highlight to you, that was the real like standout moment out of the entire thing?
Um, well, I liked the state puffs, the little state
Yeah,
puffs.
yeah, yeah.
I think that's really really cool and really really funny at the
Mm-hmm.
same time. Uh,
Yeah.
and I I just I'm really really excited for the film.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, I think there was also I think I'm not sure if you noticed this or not, but obviously it seems as though they are really kind of going to be connecting to the first movie with Gozer.
Oh,
And
right,
Gozer
yeah.
apparently coming back. It looks like he's the main villain again, and he's got like the demon
Hmm.
dogs or whatever, Zool and all that stuff coming back. And so that looks really cool. I mean, what do you make of that, Hob? So it looks like maybe something happened where Egon went out there because there was some kind of a connection
Yeah.
with Gozer, and then something was happening. I mean, what do you make of that?
I think that's really really cool because I feel like yeah, that would be in his nature of his character. That is definitely something that he would do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really really nice to have like an old like go to bring Ghoster back because I liked her in the first film, the
Mm-hmm.
original. I'm very yeah, but I'm very excited to see like uh the film because I think it's gonna be really really good.
Yeah, but did that not really add anything like any
But in
extra kind of excitement for you, sort of
yes,
viewing that because you didn't really know that before?
no, that did it did. It also gets me interested in how uh goes his back.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But I think the one moment that I think a lot of people talk about, though, I think we would be remiss if we didn't at least talk about it, was that ending.
Oh right.
The ending where there's a phone call. We see somebody picks up the phone and says we're closed.
Mm.
Now, and a very familiar voice says we're closed. Now, I think there's actually, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, Hav, but there's actually a little bit
Uh-huh.
of an argument going on right now where a lot of people are arguing whose voice that is. And
Whose
some people
voice?
think that yeah, a lot of people are arguing. Some people think that it's Bill Murray, and some
Uh-huh.
people think that it's Dan Aykroyd. What camp are you in?
Oh, I think it sounded like Bill Murray. I think
Oh, really? You thought it was Bill Murray?
yeah, I thought it was Bill Murray.
Really? So you heard that as well? You
I would
actually
have
in that
I'll
camp?
have to
That's
go
actually
I'll have to go back and listen to it again, but when I first watched it, I thought it was Bill Murray.
really that's
Yeah.
interesting because I'm in the Dan Aykroyd camp. I could have
You're in the
sworn that
down?
was Dan Aykroyd. I mean, look, the reality is we don't know for sure. Actually, it could be Bill Murray, it could be Dan Aykroyd. For me, it looked like it was. The reason I thought it was Dan Aykroyd is because it looked like it. I was in the Ray's occult bookstore. Remember, he had his that store,
Oh,
and it looked like that looked
yeah.
like where it was taking place.
Hmm.
But who knows? It could be Bill Murray. I mean, they didn't show, so you didn't know. But just somebody picked up the phone, but you didn't know
Hmm.
who. I mean, Harv, do you think this movie's finally going to come out in? What is it?
So I said like, who did they call?
Yes, who picked up the phone or whatever. Um, but it's yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how uh what I was asking you was, do you think that this movie is going to be coming out in November, or do you think it's going to be pushed back again? Because it looks like they're sticking to November is when it's going to come out.
Uh,
What do you make?
I hope that that they might stick to the November release date. I think they might stick to that.
You're saying might. Does that mean you think it could be pushed?
I think so. I think so.
So you think it is going to be pushed, or you think it's going to stay there, or
I
you just think it's
think
possible
so.
that they push it?
Yeah, it might be possible, but like I think they won't. I think they'll stick to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, for me personally, the highlight of the trailer for me, if there's one moment that the biggest moment that I took away from the movie, for me personally, was Janine showing up.
Oh yeah.
That was just for me. That was nice seeing like the little black and white picture of the whole gang together,
Mm.
and then like she says, were you saying that he left us nothing? And she's like, well, I wouldn't say nothing. And of course we know that there's clearly some stuff that's there, the trap,
Yeah.
the Ecto one is there and stuff. So I just thought that was nice, and cool of them to put that in the trailer, and I like that because because we know we've known for a while that the original cast is going to be in the movie in some form or another. But of course, in the first trailer, they didn't give us nothing. Gave us no glimpse of anybody. So it was actually kind of a surprise when that happened, as I'm sure you agree, Hob. So yeah. So anyway, so I guess unless there's anything else that you want to say, Hob, about the trailer, I guess we'll move on to our next topic.
No, not really.
No.
No.
All right, well, I guess we'll just move on to our next topic then today, which is this. We got the trailer for Sci-Fi's Day of the Dead series, based on, of course, George A. Romero's Day of the Dead. Now, we got a lot to talk about here. I think that we should just get a couple of things clear and off the bat here. So if you don't mind, I just want to say personally, and I'll let you give your thoughts, Hav. Well, I just want to say that the original Day of the Dead, I am one of those weird people that actually thinks that Day of the Dead is better than Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, really?
Yes. I thought you were going to go, no. But no. Yes, I am one of those weird people that thinks that Day of the Dead is better than Dawn of the Dead. And not only do I think Day of the Dead is better than Dawn of the Dead, I actually think that Day of the Dead is the best movie that George Romero ever made.
Really?
So you're disappointing me with these reactions. I wait for these like, oh my god, no, what? And you're like, oh really? Anyway, so yes, Day of the Dead. So, no, go ahead.
Surprised, but just like I'm not like mind blown.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but anyway. I thought you would just play it for dramatic effect, but no. Yeah, so I love Day of the Dead. And of course, they announced last year, I think it was around April, ever that Day of the Dead was going to be remade as a TV series, and that was going to be on Sci-Fi and all this kind of stuff. And they announced who the creators were. I think, was it Jed Delanoff, I think, and Scott Thomas, I believe, are the two co-creators who previously, I believe, were the writers on the Banana Splits movie, which I know a lot of people liked. I have actually still not seen that movie. And they also worked on, because it's very important for that I mention this, the Jetsons meet WWE, that animated movie. Yes, they were responsible for giving that to us. Anyway, I just thought it was important that I pointed out. Anyway, yeah, so they were the ones that were going to be working on the series, and they talked about how much they love George Romero and they love Day of the Dead, and they can't wait to do the series, and it's going to be an OD to George Romero, and it's going to honor the legacy. George Romero, they were calling him like the godfather of the zombie movie and all this kind of stuff, right? And so that, as somebody who was a fan of Day of the Dead, I was kind of excited. Now, of course, we have had a couple of different versions of Day of the Dead. There was a real sequel to Day of the Dead. I think it was called Day of the Dead 2 Continue or whatever, or something like that. Which, of course, it was really only made because of the rights holders had the name, and I think they just did it to tie into I think it was Land of the Dead at the time. So George Romero was not involved with that one. I never saw that one. Then there was the Day of the Dead remake from 2008, which was directed by Steve Miner and, of course, had Ving Rhames. And that movie was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. I don't know if you ever saw that one or not, the 2008 remake. But yeah, I thought that was terrible. Really, from what I remember, the only one that the only thing that it had in common with the original movie was that there was some army dudes.
Oh.
And that was it. That was the only real connection that it shared with the original movie. But then a couple of years ago, there was Day of the Dead Bloodline, which was more of a proper remake. It kind of had the characters living in a big underground bunker. You had army characters and stuff. You had the whole idea of a zombie growing in intelligence, a single zombie. So they actually took a lot of elements from the original movie, and they did made what I thought honestly was a decent little movie. I didn't think it was too bad. I think I liked it more than I think most people did, because most people seem to think it was pretty terrible. But I thought it was pretty bad. I think most people would at least agree that it was probably the best attempt at doing something with Day of the Dead since the original movie. So, but there you go. And now we have this new series coming, which, from what we were hearing the creators talking about, it sounded like it was going to be very, very promising. And now we got the trailer. And well, the trailer definitely leaves you scratching your head a little bit, because when you watch the trailer for the show, it doesn't look like Day of the Dead at all. It does not look like the original movie at all. It doesn't seem to share any of the main characters or anything. It's there's really no aspects of the original movie that, at least from the trailer, that appear to have share anything with the original movie. So of course a lot of people were like, well, what's the point of calling it Day of the Dead if it's not Day of the Dead? You know what I mean? So there's a couple different theories and stuff going around. Now I think we should get off the bat right away that the creators of the show have cleared up some of the confusion. They have cleared up some of the confusion, and that they have said that although this is not the same story as the original movie, and is quite different, it is very much inspired by George Romero and the original Day of the Dead movie. And apparently it will have various kind of references, and will take certain elements from the movie, but for the most part it's going to be a new story and its own kind of thing. So that was one thing that they cleared up. That's what it's going to be. Now, what is interesting to note is that they also said that the entire series, which is about 10 episodes, whether or not it's going to be multi-seasons, we'll have to wait and see. But the entire series, the first season, consisting of 10 episodes, all takes place within the first 24 hours of a zombie apocalypse, aka a day. Day of the Dead, get it? No. So that's basically what merits the Day of the Dead title, is that the whole thing does take place in a day. So, no, I mean, taking away that aspect of it, I mean, when you watched this trailer, what was going through your head?
I was like kind of confused because I thought they were going to go for the actual original film and like all the story of that. Like, I mean, I didn't like the jokes. I thought the jokes weren't that funny, but I mean, but the zombies do look good. The zombies look good, but and I will check out the series because like it might be good. It might still be a like really good film, not film series, and it might still like be like like a tribute to the George Romero Day of the Dead and zombie films. So, and what you said about the about what the creator said, That does get me kind of interested because they
Mm-hmm.
are gonna
You
bring
think
in
that's an
some.
interesting take to do? To have it take
Yeah,
place in a day?
taking place in a day. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. How it's actually going over the title of
Mm-hmm.
the film, but also they're gonna put in some plot points from that film.
Well, I don't know if plot points is not what they said. They just said elements. So
Elements.
it will be like, it might be something that is inspired by certain parts of the original movie. They were saying there will be like some references to the original movie and
Mhm.
stuff. So it's just it looks sounds like that they did just enough to where it's still Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
Like it's not just a zombie show with Day of the Dead slapped on it.
Mm.
But in terms of it, I mean, are you disappointed now that it's kind of confirmed that they did, kind of, make it clear what it's going to be, that it's not going to be, that it's not going to be, it's a different story. It's not going to really, it doesn't, we don't, I mean, we don't know. I mean, it could be perhaps maybe as it goes on, they might bring in more and more elements of the show maybe. But it does sound like, at least for this first season, that it's going to be very much just kind of its own separate thing. I mean, does that make? I mean, are you ultimately disappointed, and you're not ultimately because of that not that excited for the show, or are you like, you know what? Let's see what they do. Let's see where they go. Where are you at right now?
I'm kind of like let's see what happens. We'll watch the show. Like, and if it doesn't seem all that interested, I just won't watch the rest of it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because the way that I felt when watching this trailer was like you. I was like really confused, and I was like, how is this Day of the Dead? This looks nothing like Day of the Dead. But hearing what they said, that it's gonna, the whole thing be in 24 hours, there'll be a bunch of different characters. We'll probably see it, maybe things from different perspectives, maybe. Um, you know, and just basing, just kind of, forgetting that it's called Day of the Dead, and just watching, just looking at what we got in the trailer. I am actually kind of excited for the show, to be honest. I actually am excited for the show, and even though, again, I'm a little bit disappointed that maybe that they were not going to bring in actual proper story and plot elements from the movie to really make it Day of the Dead. But I actually do kind of, looking at, what they decide to do, I think it is kind of clever, and I think that it is something that, executed properly, it could actually turn out to be really great. And I think that there's actually a lot of promise with this show. I think that this is exactly what the zombie genre needs, because the zombie genre has kind of, it has, depending on who you talk to, it has kind of run out of steam, and some would say.
Mm.
But we've been getting kind of this seems to be taking a lot of different elements. There definitely, like you said, there were definitely like some comedy elements in there, which we've seen in some zombie movies and stuff before. So that's kind of interesting. But it definitely looks like it's going to be taking things in a bit of a new and different direction than what we have seen before in
Hmm.
this genre. So I feel like, and especially with Walking Dead, wrapping up next season, I think it is a good time, because this is coming out in October. I think that it is coming kind of just at the right time to really maybe have some success. Now look, this
Mm.
show might be terrible. It might be like the worst show ever. It might be canceled after one season. I don't know. I mean, you never, even when the show is really great, you never know with sci-fi. Sometimes they do cancel things really early on. You just never really know. But I am hopeful that maybe this could be something really special. So I personally am actually still kind of excited about it, and we'll see where they go. And I am kind of interested to see, like, if it is multiple seasons, does that mean that each season will take place in a day? Maybe it will have each season will have a completely different set of characters. trying to survive as the apocalypse goes on and on and on, or will each season be the exact same day from different characters? Like that, there's a lot of questions, and there's a lot of directions that they could go with it. But what do you think, Hav? I mean, do you think that they are just going to do this as a 10-season thing, or do you think it is going to be multiple seasons, and then each season maybe being either a different set of characters on the same day, or the same characters, but each each day, passing day, with each different season taking place in just one day?
That would be interesting. Like
Mm-hmm.
if that was the case, like if it was the same day but with a different set of characters for each season, uh, or like each season being a different day. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's going, if one of those is going to happen, I don't know. But
Well, what do you mean by that?
well, I don't know if any of them are going to happen because
But,
I
but what do
think
you what? Yeah, but what do you mean by that? I mean, you have
I
to
don't
kind of clarify,
I feel like
because this is
in
just kind of, yeah. I mean, are you trying to say that like you don't think it's going to get renewed for a you don't think it'll be renewed for a second
my,
season? You think
I,
it's just going to be a limited series, or
yeah, I feel like it might just be just a one series, like
so
just
you
one season.
don't think this is going to be multiple seasons? You think they're doing this as a mini series?
Yeah,
Interesting. But let's pretend it is going to be multiple seasons. Then what direction do you see it going in?
what directions do I see it? I see it. Um, I like.
I mean, I know
Um,
it's a little bit kind of facetious because we haven't actually seen the show. Maybe once we see the show, then it'll be more obvious if it is going to be continuing on or if it is going to be a limited series. But let's pretend for a second that this is going to be a multi-season thing. How do you think they would do each season? I mean, do you think that it would be, because it would be just the same day, but just a completely different set of characters in a different location with different circumstances? Or do you think that we will follow the same characters, but day by day, and each of their different perspectives and how events unfold for each of the different characters and stuff? How do you see it progressing if it does progress?
I see it. I see it kind of going in the maybe each day. It like a season takes place in one day, kind of, and we still stick with like the perspectives of the characters that we got from the last season.
So you think it would follow the same characters?
Yeah, I feel like it.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like it might do that.
Yeah, I mean, it could go either ways, or like you said, maybe it'll just be like a mini series. But yeah, I don't know. So there you go. Those are our thoughts on Sci-Fi's Day of the Dead trailer. I'm excited for the series. Harvey's not that excited for the series, but you
Mm,
say you're willing to maybe
I'm,
give it a
I'm
chance.
check it out.
Yeah.
Check
So
it out.
yeah, but be sure to comment comments down below. Let us know what you think of the Sci-Fi's Day of the Dead, and if you'll be watching it or not. But yeah, but I'm definitely very interested and intrigued as to what exactly they're going to do. So we'll see. It could be terrible. Anyway, so moving on. Now we're getting into our last two topics here, and they're both DC topics, funnily enough. And the first of which is this: J.K. Simmons coming back as Commissioner Gordon? Question mark.
Mm-hmm.
So J.K. Simmons, of course, previously played Commissioner Gordon in Justice League, very briefly, but I thought he did a great job. What about you, How? Did you like him as Commissioner Gordon?
I like him as Commissioner Gordon. You know, he takes it very seriously, and of course, he's got like the whole look down for the character. So I like him as Commissioner Gordon.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so this is kind of a surprise because a lot of people probably figured, including myself, I don't know about you, Huff, but a lot of people probably figured that Commissioner Gordon probably wasn't probably weren't going to see him again. Even when he was asked in an interview, he said that that he wasn't really sure if he was going to be Commissioner Gordon again or not. And I think a lot of people probably suspected because of Zack Snyder's sort of departure from the world of DC that probably meant a lot of things that he introduced in his movie as well were probably going to be kind of let go, and I don't know. I mean, that's what, yeah, put aside and stuff. But of course, recently we've of course been hearing about this new Batgirl movie, which is coming to HBO Max. And of course, it's going to be directed by the directors of Bad Boys for Life. And of course, they recently cast the actual role of Batgirl and everything, and as well. And I think a lot of people haven't really been interested in that very much right now. I mean, we'll see what happens. But one of the things that really got people interested was the fact that apparently J.K. Simmons is officially in talks. So he hasn't signed on, but he is in talks to return as Commissioner Gordon, which of course means that this is in the DCEU. This is not part of the Matt Reeves Batman universe. This is not its own thing. This is not part of the Arrowverse or whatever. This is official part of the DCEU, which is very interesting. So, I mean, that definitely makes you wonder what other HBO Max DC shows and movies and stuff, like, what other stuff is the other stuff taking place in the DCEU? Like, is all the J.J. Abrams shows, like, the Justice League Dark and Constantine and Madam X, are those in the DCEU? Is the upcoming Green Lantern show in the DCEU? Of course, we know the Peacemaker series, which is a spinoff of Suicide Squad, is. So this definitely got a lot of people interested. Like, oh, I mean, is Ben Affleck going to show up in this movie?
Maybe.
Like, so we'll have to wait and see. But Harv, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, first of all, I mean, do you want to see J.K. Simmons come back as Commissioner Gordon? And does this get you more excited for this Batgirl movie, or any more interested in this Batgirl movie than you already have been, or not?
Well, I think I really want him to sign on to be Commissioner Gordon. I think he plays the role very well, and I'm happy to see him back as the character. As if I'm a little bit more excited if he does come on to be the character again, but I'm also interested to be since it's going to be a part of the DCEU, and that does get me interested to see if Ben Affleck's going to come back. It does, yeah. It gets me interested. I know we don't really know that much about it, other than the actor is going to play Batgirl,
and we know the directors as well. So
directors as well. But I think as more information comes out about the film, or about the series, then I would probably be more excited for it.
So you're not really that interested in the movie right now?
Maybe when I see a trailer, then.
Okay. So the fact that J.K. Simmons could be coming back as Commissioner Gordon, and meaning that this is in the DCEU, it just doesn't really do anything for you. It doesn't really get you any more interested in it yourself.
Well, it gets me like a tiny bit interested, but not like a whole. Like, once I know about maybe like the story and what it's going to be about, then I might be more excited. Or no.
Okay. But do you think that, since this pretty much confirms that it will take place in the DCEU, do you think that this movie will be interconnected with any upcoming DC movies? Do you think it'll be connected to the Flash movies? Do you think it'll be connected to Black Adam or Shazam or anything? Or do you think it's probably not really gonna tie into those movies very much?
Um, it might it might tie into the films, like the Flash film, maybe.
What makes you say that?
I don't know. Maybe it might get mentioned or something.
But
Uh,
what makes you think that? That's what I'm kind of interested to hear.
what make what makes me get say that? Uh, I just kind of like maybe like I don't know for sure, but I'm just kind of uh I just kind of think that because I actually don't know like what any other movie that I might come up in.
Mm-hmm.
Like it might not be that interconnected with the films, but it might be just like a Wonder Woman 1985
84.
or uh 84, or it's just literally there just to introduce the character and not really
Mm-hmm.
get be connected to the other films or
Right.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what I think. I think it's just to introduce the character.
Okay. Yeah. And then maybe based on how well the movie does or how good it is, um, then maybe they'll do more movies. Maybe whether or not they'll make the jump to theatrical or if they'll stay on HBO Max, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, but I'm definitely kind of interested. Honestly, I don't know if the movie's gonna be any good or not, but we'll have to wait and see if it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
So moving on to our final topic, which is the one that I've been really excited to talk about, which is this Michael B. Jordan, Val-Zod, HBO Max. What do you make of this? This is pretty
Ooh,
crazy, huh? This kind of came out of
yes.
nowhere.
Yeah, it
Um,
did.
so, yeah, so Michael B. Jordan, of course, uh, it was recently reported that apparently Michael B. Jordan is and his production company are apparently are talking to HBO Max right now about doing a Superman project, specifically about the Val-Zod incarnation of Superman. Now, what's interesting about this is that Michael B. Jordan himself is not actually confirmed to be playing the Val-Zod character, which is very interesting. Now, I don't know about you, I'm going to assume that he probably is going to be playing the character, but it
Yeah.
is possible that maybe as the development process goes along, maybe something happens where they decide, you know what, I'm not the right fit to play this character. Let's go out and get something else. But I think for the moment at least, I think we can assume that Michael B. Jordan is going to be playing Val-Zod. I
Yeah.
think we can just kind of assume that for the moment, but that could change. That could change at
Yes.
any time. Now, of course, another thing that's interesting about this is that we know that it's going to be for HBO Max. What we don't know is what it's going to be exactly. We don't know if it's going to be a TV show. We don't know if it's going to be like a multi-season show, a limited series, a movie. We don't know what it is. All we know is that it's coming to HBO Max and that Michael B. Jordan will be a producer on it and most likely will also be playing the character as well. Now, Hoff, of course, what do you? I know you're not really. I don't think when we spoke before. I think you said that you weren't really familiar with the character, this particular version of Superman. It is important to note that this character is, even though it's a multiverse kind of alternate universe Superman, this is not Clark Kent. This is not Kal-El. This is a different character. Even though he does use the Superman moniker, it is a different character altogether. Val-Zod is very much his own character with his own backstory, with his own set of circumstances. He is his own character. Now, what is another thing I should probably say before I turn it over to you, Hob, is that this apparently is not connected to the upcoming J.J. Abrams Superman film at all. At least that's what they're saying right now. Of course, what we heard about the J.J. Abrams Superman is that apparently is not going to be part of DCU. Is very much going to be a standalone thing, like the Todd Phillips Joker, like the Matt Reeves Batman. It's very much but this project we don't know. This could be a part of the DCU. Maybe this is going to tie into some of the movies or other shows. We just don't know. And who knows? Maybe Henry Cavill shows up in this. You know, maybe who knows? Why not? Right? We just don't know right now. I mean, but you're hearing about this news? Michael B. Jordan going to be playing Val-Zod. What are you, are going to be producing a Val-Zod project for HBO Max and most likely playing him. What do you make of this news?
I mean, I think I'm interested in it because I think Michael B. Jordan is a good fit for the character. You know, he's certainly got the look down and everything. So the thumbnail for the stream, that I think he definitely fits.
Yeah. But yeah, again, we don't know if he's going to be playing the character. He might not be the character, but yeah, like I said, we could probably assume. But you think if he is going to be the character, you think he'll be good?
I think he'll be. I think it might be a multi-series.
You think it's going to be a show? You think it's going to be a multi-season show?
I think it could work for a show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the first season, get introduced to the character a bit, and I think it could tie in to the Flash, kinda.
Really? You think maybe it'll be like a multiverse thing?
Oh, yeah, I think it's good. It might be a multiverse thing.
So you think Ezra Miller's Flash might show up in it?
Might show up in one of the episodes.
You would think that this is going to be kind of tying into the DCEU. You think that's what this is going to be
as a show.
Mm-hmm. Now, I guess I should say that this is it was I think it was about maybe 2 or 3 years ago that there was rumors going around that Michael B. Jordan was involved with some kind of a Superman project. And at the time, he himself kind of turned that down and said, no, that's not happening. You know, there's been no talks or anything. But now that this news comes out, you gotta wonder, was he lying? Was he not telling the truth? Was he just kind of, you know, have they been talking about this for like a couple of years now? Or was he really telling the truth and it was only after that when he was like, maybe we could do something? What do you think, Cobb? Do you think that, what do you think?
I don't know. It could be literally any of them.
No, but which of those two possibilities? I mean, I don't see any other possibility myself. I mean, if you do, feel free to share. But what do you think? Do you think that this is really something that's been in the talks for years now, or do you think that that he really was telling the truth and there wasn't anything going on a few years ago, and maybe it was only after that happened that they started talking about maybe doing something?
I think it might be that. I think I don't think it's gonna
Well,
be
which one?
what you just said. I don't think it was
Well,
something
I just
that.
said both.
No, I meant the that it was planned for like
Oh,
uh
really?
that. Oh no, that it wasn't planned for
Oh, okay. So you
multiple
think
years.
it was only after that they started maybe talking about?
Yeah.
Do you think it was those rumors that made Michael B. Jordan and maybe Warner Brothers go, or do you think
Maybe.
that that is completely irrelevant?
Uh, I think that it might be that. It's like, it does kind of
Well,
fit the.
it kind of gave them the idea to maybe do something.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's very, very possible. I I think that there does seem to be a little bit of a worry right now, and I think this is very, very understandably so. That maybe there's too many versions of Superman and Batman running around right now, because we've got a lot of different versions of the same characters or different incarnations of characters kind of going around right now. Of course, there's the Superman Lois. We've got
Yes.
the J.J. Abrams Superman. We've got this new Val-Zod project, HBO Max. We've got possibly Henry Cavill showing up back as Superman and maybe some of the movies. Hoff, do you share that same concern with other people that maybe they are tarnishing their brand a little bit and maybe they shouldn't have this many versions of the same character going around? Or do you think, well, if they're not the exact same version of the characters and there's some differentiations of the character, do you think what do you think?
I'm like that. I don't think like that because they are different. They are different incarnations of the characters. I get that there might be too many uh for people and that like they think that, oh, I'm getting sick of Superman because there's so many of them. But personally for me,
Super
I really
Superman.
personally for me, like it does make me kind of excited to see like kind of more incarnations, to see like what they can do with like the characters or do with like
Hmm.
the concept
Hmm.
of Superman. Well, what
Yeah.
about you?
I mean, it's like you said. I mean, I think that people who share that concern are completely 100% justified. And I do think that there should be a limit as to how many different versions you have of certain characters running around. I think that but on the other hand, big part of me is like, well, Val-Zod, like I was saying earlier, is technically a completely different character altogether. It's not, he has a completely different backstory than Kal-El. This is even though he shares the name of Superman, the moniker of Superman. He's not Clark Kent. He's not, he is Val-Zod. This is a different character. This is a different story. This is a different take. This is a different set of circumstances. And I think that as long as most of these are good and that there are differentiations and they are different takes and they bring different and unique things to the table that you haven't seen of that character before, I think people will be fine with it. If there were five different versions of Superman on movies and in TV, I think, and they were all terrible and they were all poorly done and they were all very similar to each other, then I
Mhm.
think you really start to have the problem of tarnishing the brand of people not being of what should be a very important character that people should be excited to see, and then them not be excited to see the character because there's just so many different versions but I think as long as each different incarnation is very justified in that it's bringing something new to the table or it plays a part in some bigger role of the movies or shows or whatever, then I think that it is okay to do two, three, maybe even 4 different versions. I don't know, Hoff, would you agree with that or not?
Yeah, I agree with that. And plus, like not every Superman is gonna be great, of course. But there might be at
No.
the like maybe at the time, like I might not like the J.J. Abrams Superman, but I might like this new
You
Val-Zod.
mean Jar Jar Abrams?
Oh,
Stupid Jar. No, all right, we're joking. No, actually, speaking of the J.J. Abrams Superman, so a lot of people actually thought that the J.J. Abrams Superman was going to be Val-Zod. And this is pretty much confirmed, or at least you would think this is pretty much confirmed that Val-Zod is not going to be showing up in that movie, and that it's not going to have anything to do with Val-Zod. Of course, we've been hearing there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors and reports that the J.J. Abrams Superman is going to be based on the Calvin Harris version of Superman, which was a Superman that was based on Barack Obama. And the idea of maybe what if President Obama, was the president? And by the way, if that is the case, I definitely want that movie to be called President Superman. And if it is not, I will be very disappointed. Anyway, uh, but now it looks like that's not the case because, of course, we now have this series. I mean, this character of Val-Zod is one that we haven't really seen on the big screen before. Uh, I mean, and Michael B. Jordan has had a couple of different roles playing different comic book characters. He, of course, has played a couple of Marvel characters. He played Johnny Storm in the absolutely god awful, terrible Fant Four Stick,
oh, right.
which was honestly one of the worst superhero movies ever made. To be honest, just terrible, absolutely terrible. But he was also Killmonger in Black Panther, which he was absolutely fantastic in. And of course, apparently that is a role that he's actually going to be returning in What If, the upcoming animated What If series. So I'm kind of interested if that maybe there's going to be a version of Killmonger where he succeeds maybe, or who knows. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's a different conversation for another time. But believe it or not, Michael B. Jordan has actually played a DC character before.
Has he?
Yes, yes. Michael B. Jordan actually was the voice of Cyborg in Justice League: The Flashpoint Paradox.
Already. He was actually.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So
Oh,
yes, this is not the first time that he's actually played a DC character.
oh, I should have known that because I love that film.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, Michael B. Jordan is definitely one of the biggest names out there right now. I'm kind of thinking that this is going to be a movie.
You
Now,
think?
of course, actors, because he's a big name right now, Michael B. Jordan, and he's starting to become a bit of a powerhouse because, of course, he's actually going to be making his directorial debut with Creed 3, which comes out next year. So, and and he's out here producing, directing, acting, and all this kind of stuff, and having lots and lots and lots of success. I know not a lot of people liked Without Remorse, but whatever. Anyway, even if you're a big name actor, you always do at least 1 or 2 movies that aren't any good. But so I think that to get him to actually play the character and produce the series, if it was a series, that's pretty big. And there's no way that they could get Michael B. Jordan only for it to then be low budget CW soap opera. Oh, the Flash, like, oh, I don't know if I'm fast enough to stop the film. Anyway, I'm just pulling my face. Oh, what do you think, Hub? To me, this has to be, Disney Plus, WandaVision, big budget,
Yeah.
crisp, Mandalorian type.
Yeah.
If this is a show, or whatever this is, if this is a movie, if this is a limited series, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It has to be big budget because Michael B. Jordan is, a big movie star, a big actor.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And I hope whatever it is high budget and is not like those
Yeah.
soap opera CW shows.
Yeah. I mean, it is very exciting because there's a lot of DC stuff coming on HBO Max now and in the movies.
Mm.
And I do wonder if maybe the reason is that they're doing this is to try and cash in on that DC Plus money, because of course not DC Plus, Disney Plus, DC Plus. Oh, there you go. I just gave them a free. Well, I guess they kind of did already do that with DC Universe, but then they kind of just put it into HBO Max. But anyway, DC Plus. No, Disney Plus. Do you think that they are seeing the success that Disney are having with Disney Plus and with those shows, and are thinking we have to get in on that action? Do you think that that's part of the reason why they're moving forward with some of these shows?
Yeah, I feel like 100%. Yeah, because
Yeah,
Disney
because
Plus is like a big deal for like the streaming service.
oh yeah, they're on top right now. They're you know, um, and I do think that it does seem like we are starting to move away from the CW stuff, which I'm very happy about because that has not been going very well. um, and a lot of those shows are ending or are being cancelled or whatever. And there's actually been a rumor that the second season of Superman and Lois is actually going to be moving to HBO Max.
Oh, really?
That's just a rumor, no confirmation. It would definitely be interesting because that show, of course, is it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that show is a lot more higher budget and is a lot more well produced than the other CW shows and stuff are. So I'm very excited for the future. All I can say is this. Oh man, am I excited for DC fandom this year.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, because they have a lot of stuff that they can announce, and there's a lot of excitement about that. October now cannot come fast enough. We will probably be doing a breakdown stream like we did last year when the first DC fandom came out, and I'm sure there'll probably be even more to break down this time.
Yeah.
First of all, how excited are you for DC fandom, considering the amount of projects and stuff that we have coming? And do you think that we'll get anything on this project? Do you think Michael B. Jordan will show up? And what do you think?
Yeah, we might. Yeah, we might get Michael B. Jordan to talk about the project. Maybe even show a bit of like concept art for Val-Zod. Nothing too big. Just saying like, hey, we're doing this.
Wouldn't that be great if he actually just came out and said, "Hey, we're doing this," and then just left? He just left. He just left. It's like, yeah. So that Val-Zod thing, we're doing it, and then just left. That would be funny. I mean, look, they depending on it's all going to depend on where they are in development process. We could get something at fandom. We could not get something for a while. We'll have to wait and see. But are you excited for this project, whether it be movie or show or whatever? Are you excited for
it? I am interested in the show or movie.
Or whatever it is.
I am interested in the project. I think you
go.
I think it's gonna be really good. We'll see with a trailer comes out, or more details, or maybe like cast on playing the characters. Well, overall, yeah, I think so far the project sounds good.
One more question before we go. If you had to just guess, do you think this is standalone, or do you think this is the DCEU? If you had to just guess, what would you say right now?
I think, well, like I said with the Flash thing, I think it would be interesting if it was part of the DCEU, like more of the multiverse.
Yeah. And like you were saying earlier, maybe it ties into the Flash.
Yes.
who knows? We're just gonna, but again, can't wait for DC fandom. Find out what else going on.
I feel
But
like
yeah. So, unless there's anything else you want to say, about the project?
I was gonna say I feel like it might be more jam packed than the last one, than last year, that last
Oh,
DC
you're
fan.
talking about DC fandom?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's it's yeah, yeah. That's very possible. That's very possible. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'll need to say I can't wait for it. So I guess that pretty much wraps up our show for today, folks. So of course
yeah,
we will be back next week, so be sure to tune in then, talk about whatever else is going on in the world of movies. So yeah, you have so yeah, be sure to go in the description down below and check out Harvey Ed's channel, and
yes.
we will be back next week again. So yeah, so thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Sure to consume as much entertainment as possible, and we will see you next week.